Imagine spending your entire life training to rule, only for your throne to vanish at the last minute. Others willingly stepped aside for love, never knowing what it would cost them. One princess even dared to challenge her own family's century-old traditions, triggering a crisis that shook an entire nation. From heirs leaving countries before coronations to princes stripped of their birthright by their own siblings, these are the shocking 12 stories of those who were trained since birth to take up the throne, but never did, and their lost destinies changing history forever. So without further ado, let's begin. At number 12, we've got Princess Caroline of Monaco. Princess Caroline was Monaco's firstborn, the daughter of Prince Rainier III and the iconic Grace Kelly. Both born into privilege and expectation, Caroline spent her childhood learning diplomacy, languages, and royal etiquette, carefully being groomed for the day that she'd inherit her father's throne. For years, her future was clear. She would be Monaco's next ruler. But everything shifted abruptly in March 1958. With the birth of her younger brother, Albert II, Caroline instantly lost her status as heir presumptive. Still, Monaco's strict succession laws left room for her return. If Albert failed to produce legitimate heirs, the throne would be hers again. For decades, Caroline remained Monaco's backup plan, silently preparing for a destiny she hoped might still be hers. But in 2014, those lingering hopes vanished forever. Albert's twins, Prince Jacques and Princess Gabrielle, were born, solidifying the line of succession. Jacques became the hereditary prince, and Caroline, despite a lifetime of preparation, was permanently displaced. Her crown wasn't lost to scandal or rebellion, but simply the quiet birth of her nephew, a twist of fate over which she had no control. Today, Caroline still holds a respected place in Monaco's royal family, admired for grace and dedication. Yet the throne she's trained for, sacrificed for, and awaited her whole life to claim slipped away silently in a moment, replaced by a child born decades later. At number 11, we've got Prince Hamza bin Hussein of Jordan. He's the fourth son of King Hussein bin Talal of Jordan, and the first by his American-born fourth wife, Queen Noor. He was named Crown Prince of Jordan February 7, 1999, a position he held until his older half-brother, King Abdullah II, rescinded it on the 22nd of November 2004. Prince Hamza was appointed the Crown Prince of Jordan February 7, 1999, following the death of his father, King Hussein. This decision was made by King Abdullah II, who had just ascended to the throne at King Hussein's wishes. November 28, 2004, King Abdullah II removed the prince from his position as Crown Prince. The official reason given was that holding the title had, quote, restrained his freedom and hindered our entrusting you with certain responsibilities that you are fully qualified to undertake. At the time of Hamza's removal, no successor was named. However, in 2009, King Abdullah II designated his eldest son, Prince Hussein, as the new Crown Prince. As Prince Hussein, as the current crown prince, Prince Hamza was no longer in line to inherit the throne unless unforeseen circumstances affected Prince Hussein's ability to succeed. In April 2022, Prince Hamza renounced his title as prince, citing a divergence between his convictions and the modern methods of Jordan's institutions. Next, we've got King Karl Friedrich von Hohenzollern. He is the eldest son of the late Frederick Wilhelm, Prince of Hohenzollern, and Princess Martha of Leiningen. He became head of the Catholic Swabian branch of the House of Hohenzollern upon his father's demise on 16th of September 2010. He is currently the head of the House of Hohenzollern, Sigmaringen, a formerly princely house that no longer holds any sovereign power. He became the Prince of Hohenzollern September 16, 2010, succeeding his father Frederick Wilhelm. The Hohenzollern-Sigmaringen branch has not ruled any territory since 1849, when they ceded their principality to Prussia. While Karl Friedrich is technically the heir to the defunct Romanian throne according to the suspended 1938 Constitution of Romania, he has explicitly stated in 2009 in an interview that he knows he'll never go to take the throne. There are no realistic prospects for the restoration of the monarchy in Germany or in Romania, where the Hohenzollerns once ruled. He is never going to take the throne because the monarchy's families once ruled no longer exist. He has no claim to the German imperial or Prussian royal titles, which belong to a different branch of the Hohenzollern family. He has expressed no interest in pursuing his theoretical claim to the Romanian throne either. Also, there is no significant political movement or public support for restoring monarchies in these countries. At number 9, we've got the Crown Prince Alexander of Yugoslavia. He's the head of the House of Karađorđević, a former royal house of the now defunct Kingdom of Yugoslavia, and its predecessor, the Kingdom of Serbia. Alexander is the only child of King Peter II and Princess Alexandra of Greece and Denmark. He held the position of Crown Prince of the Democratic Federal Yugoslavia for the first 4.5 months of his life until the declaration of the Federal People's Republic of Yugoslavia later in November 1945 when the monarchy was abolished. Since then, Alexander has been a pretender to the throne that no longer exists. Despite his active efforts to promote constitutional monarchism and democracy, Serbia has remained a republic. Also, the Kingdom of Yugoslavia no longer exists, having been replaced by several independent states after its breakup in the 1990s. Serbia has shown no intention of reinstating the monarchy despite Alexander's advocacy for its benefits. Public sentiment and political priorities in Serbia have largely moved away from monarchy restoration. Even during periods of democratic reform, leaders like Koštunica expressed no concrete plans for reinstating the crown. While he returned to Serbia in 2001 and resides at the Royal Palace in Belgrade, his role remains symbolic rather than actually political. Hence, even after years of preparing to see himself as the king of Yugoslavia, Crown Prince Alexander of Yugoslavia is never going to take the throne. Next, we've got Princess Victoria of Savoy. She is the daughter and heir apparent to Emanuele Filiberto of Savoy, Prince of Venice, who is a claimant to the headship of the House of Savoy. As the succession laws of the House of Savoy only permit males to succeed in their domains, a woman succeeding to the headship of the House of Savoy is unprecedented. Victorio Emanuele, Victoria's grandfather, proclaimed that the laws of the House of Savoy were to be changed, and Victoria was placed as second in line to the headship of the House of Savoy, behind her father. However, her claim to the headship of the house and to the defunct Italian throne remains disputed. In June 2023, for example, Emanuele Filiberto announced his intention to renounce his claim as the heir apparent in favor of the princess. However, he has yet to formally do so. In October 2023, Princess Victoria became the first female member of the Supreme Order of the Most Holy Annunciation, a prestigious honor established in 1362. The ongoing disputes between Vittorio Emanuele and Emanuele di Savoia challenges Vittoria's claim as heir. If the Aosta branch is deemed legitimate, Vittoria would lose her position entirely. Italy abolished its monarchy in 1946 through a referendum, hence it's highly unlikely that she is going to later take the throne after years of preparing herself as queen. At number 7, we've got Lady Marina, Windsor. She is a British noblewoman and a relative of the British royal family. Although she is a great-great-granddaughter of King Georg V and a second cousin once removed of Charles III, she was removed from the line of succession to the British throne in 2008 after being confirmed into the Roman Catholic Church. Until 2008, Lady Marina was 25th in line to the British throne. In 2008, Lady Marina was confirmed into the Roman Catholic Church following her mother's faith. This decision led to her removal from the line of succession due to the Act of Settlement in 1701, which stipulates that only Protestants can inherit the throne. The Act of Settlement was enacted to ensure that the monarch would be a Protestant specifically aligned with the Church of England. This law excludes Roman Catholics and those who married Roman Catholics from the line of succession. The Succession to the Crown Act 2013, which came into effect in 2015, removed the disqualification for those who marry Roman Catholics. However, this change was not applied retroactively, meaning Lady Marina's position was not restored. Lady Marina's decision to convert to Catholicism allowed her for greater personal freedom, as she no longer was bound by the restrictions and strictures of being in line of succession. She has pursued various interests following that, including education at St. Mary's School, Ascot, and involvement in cultural events. Next, we've got Prince Jean of Luxembourg. He is the second son of Jean Grand Duke of Luxembourg and Princess Josephine Charlotte of Belgium. He's the twin of Princess Margarita. He frequently goes by the name of Jean Nassau. Prince Jean of Luxembourg's succession line changed due to his decision to renounce his rights to the throne. As a younger son of the Grand Duke, Prince Jean is initially in line of succession to the throne, and then in 1987, Prince Jean married Helene Vester, a non-noble woman in Paris. Before the marriage in 1986, he renounced his rights to succession to the throne along with those of his future children. This decision was made to marry outside of the nobility, which was not traditionally allowed for those in line of succession. Initially, Prince Jean's children did not have titles. However, in 1995, they were granted the title of Count and Countess of Nassau, and in 2004, they were elevated to Prince and Princess of Nassau. Prince Jean divorced Helena Vestor in 2004 and remarried Diane de Greer in 2009. His second wife holds the title of Countess of Nassau. Prior to 2011, the country followed semi-Slavic law, which favored male succession. However, since 2011, absolute primogeniture has been in place, allowing both male and females equal rights to the throne. Despite these changes, Princess Jean's earlier renunciation remains in effect. At number 5, we've got Princess Aiko of Japan. She is a member of the Imperial House of Japan. She's the only child of Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako of Japan. Princess Aiko of Japan is not eligible to ascend the Chrysanthemum throne due to Japan's male-only succession law. This law, rooted in the 1947 Imperial Household Law, restricts imperial succession to male descendants from the paternal line. The principal agnatic primogeniture, or the male-only successions, was reinforced in 1888 and codified into law in 1947 under the post-war constitution. This law also requires female members of the imperial family to relinquish their royal status upon marrying outside of the family. Princess Aiko's position, ineligible for succession, became more definitive after the birth of her cousin Prince Hisahito in 2006, who is now second in line to the throne after his father, Crown Prince Akashino. The Japanese imperial family faces a shrinking pool of eligible successors. There are currently only 4 male members, with Prince Hisahito being the youngest and sole male of its generation. This situation has sparked concerns about the long-term stability of the monarchy, as there are no guarantees that future male heirs will be born. Without significant legal reform or societal shifts, Princess Aiko's role will remain limited to ceremonial duties. If she marries outside of the imperial family, she'll lose her royal status entirely, as dictated by current laws. Next, we've got Prince Amedeo of Belgium. He is a grandson of King Albert II of Belgium and thus a member of the Belgian royal family. He is also heir apparent to the headship of the House of Austria-Este, a cadet branch of the House of Habsburg-Lorraine, and is sixth in line to the throne of Belgium. Prince Amedeo married Elisabeth Roschbach von Wolkenstein on July 5, 2014, without obtaining prior royal consent as required by Article 85 of the Belgian Constitution. This led to speculation that he lost his right to the throne entirely. However, November 2015, a royal decree was issued granting retroactive consent for the marriage, restoring Prince Amedeo's place in line of succession. Despite the restoration of his succession rights, Prince Amedeo remains sixth in line to the throne, following his relatives who are more direct descendants to King Philip. The line of succession includes King Philip's children and siblings, making it unlikely for Prince Amedeo to ascend to the throne unless all those ahead of him in the line of succession were to end or relinquish their claims. Belgium practices absolute primogeniture, meaning the eldest child inherits the throne regardless of gender. This system, combined with the large number of descendants of King Albert II, reduces Prince Amedeo's chances of becoming future king. Hence, it's highly unlikely that he will ascend the throne. At number 3, we've got Prince Emanuele Filiberto of Savoy. He is a member of the House of Savoy. He is the son of Vittorio Emanuele of Savoy and the only male-line grandson of Umberto II, the last king of Italy. In 2019, Prince Vittorio Emanuele amended the ancient Salic law, allowing female descendants to be included in the line of succession. This change was unprecedented in the history of the House of Savoy. As a result, Princess Vittoria, Emanuele Filiberto's eldest daughter, became second in line to the headship of the House of Savoy after her father. In June 2023, Emanuele Filiberto announced his intention to abdicate his claim to the throne in the favor of Princess, all when he deemed he was ready. He cited a desire for modernization and his belief in empowering younger generations as key reasons for his decision. On February 3, 2024, following the death of his father, Vittorio Emanuele Filiberto became one of the 2 claimants to the headship of the House of Savoy. However, he reaffirmed his plan to pass his role to the princess. The headship of the House of Savoy is disputed by another branch led by Prince Aimone, Duke of Aosta. The dispute stems from Vittorio Emanuele's marriage to Marina Doria without formal approval from King Umberto II, which some argue invalidates his descendants' claims. Next, we've got Prince Michael of Kent. He is a member of the British royal family, the younger son of Prince George, Duke of Kent, and Princess Marina of Greece and Denmark. He is a grandson of George V, nephew of Edward VIII and George VI, and first cousin of Elizabeth II. Prince Michael married Baroness Marie Christine von Reibnitz, a Roman Catholic, in 1978. At the time, the Act of Settlement 1701 prohibited anyone who married a Roman Catholic from succeeding to the throne. As a result, Prince Michael was removed from the line of succession. Marie Christine was a divorcee, and her previous marriage was annulled by the Catholic Church before she married Prince Michael. Despite this, the marriage still fell under the Act of Settlement's prohibition. Being far down the line of succession means that numerous individuals would need to die or be disqualified before Prince Michael could ascend to the throne. As Prince Michael ages, his chances of becoming monarch decrease further due to his position in the line of succession and the natural progression of the royal family. The British monarchy follows a system where the eldest child inherits the throne, meaning that Prince Michael's position is unlikely to change significantly unless there are major unforeseen effects affecting those ahead of him in line of succession. So it is highly unlikely that he'll ever ascend to the throne. And at number 1, we've got Prince George Frederick of Prussia. He is a German heir who is in the current head of the Prussian branch of the House of Hohenzollern, the former ruling dynasty of the German Empire and the Kingdom of Prussia. But he is unlikely to ascend any throne due to historical, legal, and political factors. The Weimar Constitution formally ended the monarchy in Germany, has since gone republic. George Frederick is the great-great-grandson of William II and has become the head of the House of Hohenzollern in 1994 after the death of his grandfather, Prince Louis Ferdinand. George Frederick's position as head of the house was challenged by his uncles Frederick William and Michael, who argued that their exclusion from inheritance based on their marriages was discriminatory. After years of legal battles, German courts ultimately ruled in George Frederick's favor in 2005. The disputes revolved around the traditional requirements for dynasts to marry equally to someone of royal or noble rank. While this rule was upheld for George Frederick's inheritance, it has no legal or constitutional relevance to modern Germany. Also, Germany is a democratic republic with no legal provision for restoring monarchy. Hence, it's quite impossible that Prince George Frederick of Prussia is going to take the throne even after he's prepared himself for king for multiple years. And with this, we wrap this video. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you find our channel interesting, then subscribe to it. Thank you. See you in the next video.